In this session, I'll take you through the difference between DSCR and FOIR. First, let's look at the meaning. What do we mean by DSCR? When we say DSCR, it stands for Debt Service Coverage Ratio. Here, banks and financial institutions are basically going to measure the repayment capacity of the borrower for the term loan they have availed for a project. So, what is the focus? The focus is measuring repayment capacity of the borrower. Then what is FOIR? FOIR stands for Fixed Obligation Income Ratio. And here also bank is going to measure the repayment capacity. But here it is measuring the repayment capacity of the borrower with reference to it can be a business loan, a mortgage loan, or a long-term loan. But both the ratios, they basically measure repayment capacity. Okay, what is the formula that is used in these ratios? First, let's look at DSCR. DSCR ratio, the formula numerator is cash accruals and denominator is obligation. How this cash accruals is calculated? It is calculated as profit after tax. Then it is added back by depreciation because it is a non-cash item. Then it is added back by interest on term loan because we want to know what is the cash profit before paying interest. So for that reason, we add back interest on term loan. This goes to the numerator. Whereas in the denominator, it will be interest on term loan plus principal commitment. So this will be calculated for each and every year so that DSCR of each and every year can be understood and arrived at. Whereas FOIR, the formula is like this. It is fixed obligation divided by income. And when I say fixed obligation, it is the fixed obligation with regard to the present loans which are running and the future loans that is proposed. Okay, so this fixed obligation is basically the summation of EMI, which includes interest and principal. So you should factor both the present running outstanding loans commitments as well as the proposed loan commitments. That goes to the numerator. Whereas in the denominator, it is income. When we say income, this is cash profit. And this is one distinct difference when compared with DSCR. Here, when we take the income in FOIR, that is the cash profit, it is freezed as per last financial information. That is, if the customer is approaching now, let's say we are in December 20, the customer is approaching loan now for let's say next 5 years. For next 5 years, what will be his cash profit? That will be based on his last submitted financials. In next 5 years, he may earn more, he may have more cash profit, but that will not be taken into consideration. Okay, so that's the distinct point when it comes to FOIR, because in DSCR, what you are going to do is you are going to arrive at cash profit for future, and in future this cash profit can be estimated to increase. That's what I have in next point. Look at here how cash source is measured. If you take DSCR, it factors estimated projected cash flows, which can be based on future cash profits. And this future cash profit can be estimated to increase. Let's say, for example, a customer approaching a bank for a term loan to start a business. It means this business will acquire assets. Using that asset, they will produce product, then they will make sale, then out of that they will make profit, and using that profit they will service a loan. Okay, in those cases DSCR will work out. Even for existing businesses which are going for expansion, it's possible that their cash profit can increase from their present level. In those cases also DSCR will work out. But wherever this FOIR ratio is used, it is always based on cash profit as at last year. It will be pegged at that level. Let's say, for example, the cash profit of the last year is 1 crore and they have come for a term loan, let's say repayable over a period of 5 years. A term loan, let's say like a mortgage loan. Now, For the next 5 years, their annual cash profit will be freezed at 1 crore. So with that 1 crore, whether they will be able to service the loan or not, that's what getting measured. Whereas in DSCR, it is possible that this 1 crore can increase because of change in sale, because of change in capacity, because of change in fixed assets. So that element will be accepted in DSCR, but not in FOIR. Okay. So this is how cash source is measured. Then what are the obligations that are considered? Because in both the ratios, what we are doing, we are comparing the income and obligation. Okay, what obligation? I think here both DSCR and FOIR does the same job. DSCR factors running past loan obligations as well as the proposed loan obligation. FOIR also factors running past loan as well as the proposed loan obligations. Okay. When DSCR is suitable, when FOIR is suitable. DSCR is suitable for project financing, let's say like term loan, because this is going to involve estimation, projection. It's possible future revenue can be estimated, projected to increase, same the profits and cash profits. Whereas FOIR can be used for medium to long term loans where the repayment is based on existing cash profit, existing capacity. That's why generally we see this in mortgage loan, business loans and all, right? And what is the minimum acceptable level? If you take DSCR, the minimum acceptable DSCR for each and every year throughout the loan tenor will be like 1.5 times every year. Of course, it could vary bank to bank depending upon the bank's risk perception. Conservative bank will say something like 1.5 times, whereas the banks which are ready to take a little bit of risk, they'll go even up to 1 time. Okay, this is every year. That is, if the loan is for 5 years, for each and every year, the ratio should be at least 1.5. And average DSCR will also be calculated, which should be at least 1.75. And again, it can vary bank to bank. That's about DSCR. Whereas FOIR, it is calculated in a kind of a reverse model because we are comparing the fixed obligation with the income. Okay, so fixed obligation is seen as a proportion of income. So it should be between 40 to 55%. So if fixed obligations are greater than 55%, it means they are leveraged. They may not become eligible for financing. But on the other side, if FOIR is below, much below, say somewhere like below 40%, it indicates they have much of repayment capacity. Okay, so these are the broader differences. Even other differences can be added, but these are all the differences which I wish to add. Thanks for watching this video, and I hope you like this lecture. If you wish to learn more on the areas related to this topic, check our comprehensive course. I have shared the details and link in the description below. Click sign up and enroll. I'll see you inside.